Good morning. Prosperity every day. It's November 26th. We have the drama of debt. Financial mismanagement creates drama. Accustomed to stress, we act out in ways that increase our anxiety. Solvency, with its calm and serenity, seems very foreign to us. We often elect drama just because it is familiar. By its very nature, debt is drama. Yeah, and I am so close to being seriously solvent and serene by paying off my student loan. Boom! God, so looking forward to that. I get to make a very chunky, it's going to be very close to half of the balance paid off this week. Oh, so excited. And, you know, I'm completely surrendered and have accepted the reality of, it's gonna be a tax hit, but who gives a shit? Uh, and you know, no matter where and when I, I, I pay those taxes, it's just quit wiggling and waggling with, just these are dollars that I made in the profession with which I got the master's degree for. So it's an even exchange, right? Even Steven. And, you know, some of the money, if I got to really do here's some math that I could do. How much actual for real dollars did I invest into this 403B over a course of 10 years? And how much is in it now? So did I did I by making a dollar and investing a dollar, did it turn into $2? And now I'm paying back the loan that created that opportunity to make that dollar. So it's it's one of these. It's what one hand's washing the other, and bottom line is that the true gift of paying off this debt is that I'm very close to closing that conversation in my mind, and absolutely with anybody else in the world. I can let go of that debt drama. Because for the longest time, the stupidity of the drama was that, oh, I'm borrowing a big chunk of money and it's really cheap. I think originally it was like 3.5% interest, and in my mind, I'm like, well, that's nothing. That's like almost free money. And I didn't have to start paying on it for 3 or 4 years. It's the classic payment stupidity when you're buying anything. Let me take that thing home, not put a nickel down, and not start paying on it for a year, and keep the payment so low that I end up paying on it for. I mean, I graduated in 2006. That's almost 20 flippin' years. Total insanity, you know? So, yeah, it's it's amazing. I'm just sitting there having thoughts like, you know, once I achieve solvency, I want to do a podcast. And, you know, what are my credentials? I'm getting 29 years clean and sober, and currently very active in my recovery process. and I have a full scope 29 years of experience of doing my best, and at times that was pretty horrific and dangerous, by not truly participating in the recovery process. Um, and that's it. That's the absolute primary one. And, the majority of my life has been grappling with childhood trauma, you know, diagnosed with PTSD a few years ago. Finally, that was such an eye-opening moment, to be in therapy again, and at the latter stages of it, knowing we were winding up. We had been working together for 2 years, and this was right on the onset of COVID, and it was clear that we were moving forward. We had set up like, oh, we're gonna do some of that Zoomy stuff, um, but once and she moved away, to be closer to family during the COVID stuff, and so we just decided that we were done. We had completed the work, and part of that completion was I I had never done this before. I'd never point blank asked a therapist what my diagnosis was, and she didn't hesitate. She said PTSD, and I was like, wow, I never went to war. Isn't PTSD for soldiers, military folk? And she's like, well, your childhood was a war zone, and that made sense to me in that I finally understood that I had been locked into fight or flight from the time I was 5 or 6 years old, probably for the first time that I, threw some stuff in a sleeping bag, and not a sleeping bag, but like a pillowcase, and ran away to my best friend's house 2 blocks away. And I think the first time that I threatened to run away, my mom helped me put stuff in a bag. She's like, "Okay, let's get your stuff together and let you run away." And but because I was so traumatized and so actively engaged in drugs and alcohol at a very young age, my world and my habits were very destructive and counterproductive to sanity and solvency and relationships, and all the challenges that most people who grapple with the disease of addiction. Um, so that was an eye-opener, and the image that was so clear to me is that my foot had been stomped down to the ground on the accelerator of flight. How many addresses have I had? you know I think still to this day, the longest I've ever lived at one address is about 3 years. And I'm in that cycle again right here. I moved in here, I think 3 years ago. Maybe now I'm going on four, and I don't have that itch to shake it up and leave. Um, I actually have an itch to hunker down and to make this place a home, to start doing some serious DIY stuff that I've avoided pretty much my whole life. Done a little, I've dabbled a little, but I've never truly been able and willing to make a house a home. And that's where I'm at today. Um, so, what are my qualifications? 29 years clean and sober, lots of experience, doing the best I can at working on sanity, and building new relationships, and I'm doing the best I've ever have. Um, I got a great relationship with my sponsor, and I got a handful of guys that are working with me as sponsees. So that man ships are going great. I'm playing hockey with my brother, um, and have reestablished a connection with my sister. Um, and that's the local stuff. And my out of town siblings love him to death, and hopefully get to see him occasionally here and there. Um, and reestablished a relationship with Toby, my original sponsor. Gonna go down and we'll see him this summer at his wedding. Very excited about that. Um, and But as far as putting together a sanity and solvency podcast, um, all I've got is, you know, 40 plus years of insanity and mismanagement of finances. I've got that experience. Ultimately, you know, attempting to out earn my bombastic spending and financial habits, and just, never having a clue as how to really truly manage a dollar. Had been given all of the tools, had been given all of it, but just not capable, to manufacture the mental capacity to turn it into daily habits, and willing to let go of that fantasy of winning the lottery and making, having just tons of money fall out of the sky to solve all the problems, and, just always have an infinite font of spendability and do whatever I want, however I want, without any ramifications, and fantasizing that all day, every day. Um, but letting go of that and getting a regular old job, very humble job, starting out at $13.50 an hour, and and in 7 years have turned my financial world around. My net worth has more than doubled in 7 years, and the most important thing, though, is the daily habits. Primary one is every paycheck. The number one item on my budget line is tithing. And the irony is that I don't have a church. I don't tithe to a church. It's not a churchy tithe, but it is spiritual. I'm in a spiritual program. So I tithe to my spiritual program. I tithe to my yoga studio, and I tithe to uh, to Big Brothers Big Sisters. So I give some money to the local, and I'm pretty sure I should confirm that, but I'm pretty sure that those dollars go to the local chapter of Big Brothers Big Sisters. And that way I feel sort of connected to the youth generation. That giving, uh, yeah. So the first part of your life you learn, second part of your life you earn, and the third part of your life you return. And you know, I was an under earner, and there's the fellowships of Under Earners Anonymous and Debtors Anonymous, and I wonder how many other Gamblers Anonymous. So there's three. I don't know if there's any other fellowships that are money focused, um, but the solution is daily prayer, daily budgeting, and conviction on how to handle every dollar. keeping it realistic, getting a money map. I mean, she talks, Julia Cameron talks about a money map and the daily counting, um, and that's all there. And I have all that stuff. I've established myself with the Dave Ramsey's um, every dollar budget, smart dollar, um, and I've been doing that for almost 7 years now, and it has changed my life. And I have a money map. I'm gonna do a hard sit down this weekend and do a solid. I think I mentioned this just yesterday. I'm gonna do a solid 2025 goals, and then a 5 year plan, and a 10 year plan, and a 15, and a 20, and a 25, and a 30, 40, and a 50, and I'm gonna get a hold of that guy. And sure, why not? If we can buck into the 120s and 140s, why not start doing it? Really truly prioritize health and fitness. I mean, I'm nearly there. I've been consistent at a weight that's doable, but it's still 20 to 30 pounds overweight, and I'm sure my skating would improve if I wasn't carrying around 20 pounds of lard. I mean, I'm naturally going to be quicker, and but also improve my leg strength and flexibility, and absolutely heal this groin and foot and wrist. Just really want to improve hockey. But anyway, so round and round and round we go. Um, Life is awesome. Life is good, and I've got some tangible, realistic, usable, and teachable assets. Yeah. So, anyways, that's a happy, weird old face. Anyways, yada, yada, yada. You guys have a great day. Peace, peace, peace. Oh, well, yeah, let's do some of this. Quick, quick, quick. Live in the program. Do I owe any amends from yesterday? Uh, you know, when I see Jamie again, I'll have a conversation about how I handled that aggressive teaching moment. Um, you know, I had an incident with a young person who had, an interesting phrase on her sweater, and I commented on it, and she bounced it off to her mom, and her mom bounced back at me and was absolutely offended that I made a comment. And, you know, anyways, so I guess my behavior changes again to just keep my trap shut. So funny. You think when you think you're funny, it's like anything, you take that risk to share that funny thought, and some folks aren't going to think it's funny. So what are you going to do? Uh, and I think I had a pretty good eating day yesterday. I didn't do samples, and I think I had a pretty good eating day. So I'm going to try to do the daggone same thing. Eat some eggs, eat some protein, prep some food. Um, I mean, I didn't have a great eating day. I did eat French fries, so that was a choice I could have changed. I could have swapped over to. Or no, wait, did I eat French fries? No, I didn't. I just had burgers. That's right. So yeah, it was a pretty good day. Anyways, so I'm clean today, and I'm gonna I'm gonna work on expanding my abstinence to include food, sugar, carbs, just for today. And I know that I have a choice today, and I'm going to exercise that choice and stay clean and expand my abstinence. Live in the program. Um, This is my infinite invocation. I, Paul C., have forgiven all and am forgiven of all and by all. Nothing remains in my being, my body, my soul, but love. There is no pain or distress in my joints, my muscles, my tendons. My body is the body of Source, the living, eternal Spirit. There is one life. That life is my life now. I am the spirit of joy within me. I radiate life. I am life. There is one life. That life is my life now. I claim my spiritual perfection and connection with my inner healing artist and abundant truth and abundance guide. We utilize the practical principles of the 12 steps, 12 traditions, and 12 powers. I expect and accept the healing. I expect and accept the happiness. I expect and accept the abundance. I expect and accept the responsibilities and so live that they become a part of my experience now, today. It is my responsibility to harness my creativity by cultivating and manifesting positivity. This is what I want to do today. I want to finish this due. I want to eat some good high protein food. I want to go to yoga, um, go to tan, and then give work an honest day. And then have a great day there. Happy Thanksgiving. It's the greatest weekend of the year, right? Um, and it's funny. There are much more. There's happiness in the air. It's interesting. Wish we could have like a global happiness factor every day and every week. Yeah. So, you will now step into my place and do it, bringing all of your powers and intelligence to bear and considering yourself to being none other than myself. And so it is, this or something better still. I am responsible. I am capable. I am aware. I am willing. I am masculine. I provide. I protect. And I decide. I am enough. This is my truth. My life is a treasure. I change my thinking today and thus create my holistic prosperity, health, wealth, and happiness plan. I demonstrate, manifest, and execute from this plan specifically today by number one, tithing. Number two, prayer, meditation, reading, and writing. Three, exercise and right eating. Four, budgeting and right spending and investing in my future's financial freedom. Five, boundaries and right relationships. I represent the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. It is unerring. It never mistakes. There are no mistakes in the divine plan for us. There is no fear. All trust, all faith, all good. All trust, all faith, all good, all day, all love. There is no limitation, poverty, want, nor lack. We stand in the midst of eternal opportunity, which is forever presenting us with the evidence of its full expression. We are peace, joy, and happiness. We have peace, poise, and harmony. Boom, shakalaka laka.